A very good morning. Welcome to NSSF Financial Literacy Program. Welcome to class. Welcome to school. This is our last month in the financial year. For us, we are winding down the financial year. For all those entities that subscribe to a financial year, you know this is one of those times when you are saying things are going. Tuli mutamu igenda. Thank you for joining us in school, in class. We take off 2 hours of our lives every month and we say we just talk about money, we talk about life, we talk about things that influence our lives, things that will help us participate in this economy as useful citizens, as persons that we can count on. My name is Mboa Apollo and I am the headmaster of this class. And in this class, as you will hear, my panelists, I have quite a good cream of panelists. They refer to me, they are the ones who refer to me. They have asked, they have pleaded, not me, it's not my making. They have pleaded that they call me headmaster. But they also pleaded that they put a sir at the beginning and a sir at the end. So it is them, not me. Welcome again. I just want to welcome you. We didn't meet the last class because we had Eid. I waited for all our Muslim friends to check in and say, yes, we missed class, but this is what we are going to offer you. But no one. But Aisha and all your friends, I know you are there. Welcome back from Eid. Today we are going to talk about financial parenting. And in the spirit of fathers, I'm a father myself. I have a father. I know fathers. I work with fathers. All the people I know have fathers or were fathered. So fathers are very, even the ones that are young are aspiring fathers. In this room alone where I'm standing right now, I see aspiring fathers. I see there are also people who are fathers and are still denying it. So fathers are everywhere. So in the spirit of fatherhood, I want to congratulate all the fathers in whatever capacity you are. You fathered yesterday. You forgot about your children yesterday. You did not provide yesterday. You provided yesterday. You are still doing what you are doing as a man, as a father. We congratulate you for being a father. Continue doing what you're doing. Change what you don't need to do. And bring up our generation to be better than you. I only know that fathers, maybe it may be true for mothers, I don't know. But for fathers, they always want the next generation to be better than them. So today we're going to talk about financial parenting. And if Shadrach is kind enough to put up those slides. But before we do, why are we doing this as NSSF? As NSSF, we realize that our membership and the nation needs to have this information. Why? Mostly because that we pay out 170 billion on a monthly basis, but the nation is asking, where is that money? They can't see that money. The money leaves NSSF, it goes into the people's hands, but it is not anywhere. Excuse me. So where is that money going? And we're feeling that part of the gap is people do not have the information. They do not know the options. They do not know that this money, when it comes, it needs to be able to multiply. So we have these conversations to be able to emphasize and share some of these. We'll share our experiences. We'll share expertise. We bring in the persons that have made it. Everyone who sits on this set, excuse me, other than myself, is an expert at something. They are celebs somewhere. So they're actually better than most of us in some aspects. So we bring up these conversations that we can have that shared amongst ourselves to make ourselves better. As NSSF, it becomes of purpose if I am able to influence, impact the life of my member, the life of a citizen of Uganda to have a better life. Our purpose is to make savings a way of life so that people can have better and better lives. So what is financial parenting? If I may dive into today's topic, my job is to just introduce and then let the conversation be taken on by the experts here. What is financial parenting? This is about knowledge. Financial parenting, when we are coming up with this topic, people are saying, now this is when parents talk about money. This is when parents give children money. No. Financial parenting has only 5% to do with money. The majority of financial parenting has to do with knowledge, attitudes, and habits. And if you're a scholar of any intelligence, artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence, you will also understand that the definition of intelligences is the knowledge you have, the attitude you have, the habits you have. What knowledge are you sharing with your child about finances, about life? Whatever you're sharing with your child, with the persons that are under your care, about life, influences their finances. About money, it influences their finances. The attitude that you are bringing them up around, you telling them money is lost, that's an attitude. Money is not lost. Money is lost with you, not with, no, it's money is somewhere, but it's just that you don't have money. What attitude are you telling these children to experience? That they move everywhere, every time they have a problem, they cry, money is lost? What lessons are you bringing them up? Are you bringing them into an abundance mindset? What is the mindset about their finances, about their life that you are bringing? The habits, what is it that they are doing every day, daily and consistently over their lifetime? About money, about their lives. What time are they waking up? What do they do when they wake up? What chores do they do? Are they just doing it for the chores, or they are doing it and understanding that chores are being done so that we can earn a skill? What habits are they? Are they saving? Yourself, are you saving? Are you showing them? Are you just telling them, or you are showing them? Ladies and gentlemen, financial parenting is not just about money. Money is a consequence of financial parenting. What you have parented your children about, over knowledge, attitude, and habits will show up in the money they have, the money they attract, the money they are able to retain, the money they are able to multiply, or what they do not have. If Shadrach is kind enough, go to the next slide. Mine is to just introduce this and then leave it. Financial parenting is not just directing. You go do this. It is not just, it's not just about ordering. It's not about conception and impregnating someone. It is not just preparing for your children. It is not befriending, not about befriending your children, but it is about modeling. What image are you showing your children? It's about guiding them. It's about raising them, being present. You may be working out of the country, but are you present? Or are you present for them? Are you around? You may be around physically, but not available to them. What is it that, how are you doing this? It is about preparing your children. Please note, most of us are indulged into preparing for our children, but we forget to prepare them. Parenting is personal. It is modeling, it is guiding. It is not just about the things we think that now that this is my child and you have labeled them that they are my child, they will do what I want to do. No, it is much more than that. And finally, if Shadrach is kind enough, to just put us on that slide. If you are also kind enough to make it bigger, thank you. That's when you know that this is becoming a parent and a grandparent soon. It is not also about planned kids. We have been speaking about planned kids and planned children, planned parents. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to demystify a bit of this. It's not just a social media creation. That when you tell your children and you label them planned kids, immediately they are planned kids. It is not a command that you have said, I'm delivering planned kids. For us, we only have planned kids. It is not a wish. It is not the frequency and exchange, the frequency you have trips with your children. It is not the schools they attend. My children are at this school, they are planned. But it is the difficult conversations you have. It is the principles and values you put in these children. It is the knowledge of the family activities. Do those children know your family activities? Do they know where your money comes from? Or they just consume it? Most times in my own experience, I've seen my children quite have an appetite when they know it is daddy's money. When we change the tables a bit and I give them this money to spend, I tell you, this is your money, spend it, the appetite goes down. Mm-hmm. So what is it that you are doing? Do children know where money comes from? Do they know the value? Do they know the value of hard work? Do they know the family assignments? When they are doing the family chores, are they just delivering them, or they're actually picking skills from them? When you're talking about planned kids, it's just beyond about the social media. It is those values that you're putting in these children. Be intentional. Planned parenting shapes character. It shapes values. It is not just a milestone. It is not something you reach and say, this is now a planned kid. So ladies and gentlemen, today, to get into these conversations, you know I'm not the expert. I will just share. And while I finalize this, I need to remind you that for us, we say if you do not save money, money will never save you. And we only change your lives when you act. So action changes life. So please take a time, scan that code, and you can enroll in the NSSF Smart Life. NSSF Smart Life is as low as 500 shillings. If you can command 500 shillings in your lives, then you can participate in NSSF Smart Life. Just scan that code and start saving, because for us we believe if you do not save money, then it is hypocritical of you to start looking for money to save you. So allow me to start. Today we have a panel of distinguished ladies and a gentleman who will be joining us soon. But while they will do the introduction, they will introduce themselves. I am obligated as the headmaster. Rachel, please say headmaster.
Headmaster.
No, but you need to say it right. Eh?
Headmaster.
Thank you, thank you. She insisted that she says that, who am I to really refuse? So I want to share something about these ladies, and we've been having background conversations before we got onto air. Joanne over there, who will introduce herself, she's a banker. But one of the things I picked about Joanne is that where she's raising her children, she has a differently abled child, and forgive me if I've said it right. Yeah. And for me, it was a turning point on how you said that, differently abled. Most people say they use other words, but differently abled. You have already set up this child for success. Yeah. And for me, that was the beginning point. And I said, when I grow up, I want to be like this parent. Don't mind about the age, but growing old is optional. Growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. So when I grow up, I want to be like you. When you come to Mwine here, when you say the word, I want to call it Mwine so that people know that I know her and I know the entire family, because this is a celeb family. This is a family that, when you grow up, we want to just touch their cloth, just to be near them. Rachel has had quite a number of conversations on different aspects of life. And these conversations, fortunately, speak into the finances. And to me, there was no better option to moderate this than Rachel herself. So Rachel, please respond. Rachel.
Sir, headmaster, sir.
Yes. Today, the persons that have come to class today, this is class. For the next 2 hours, we are going to be in class. Everyone in here is a student. You are the class monitor, and those are the prefects. In this school, I am the head teacher. There is no one in between me up to the prefect. All the other places, and please do not become ambitious, trying to, what it can happen. Here, there is no ambition. I am the headmaster, only headmaster. And these persons are here to share, to listen from you. They're also going to share their experiences. What is this financial parenting about? And why do we need to be? So kindly, if you can take on this conversation as we wait for Chris to join us in a little while later.
All right. Thank you, Sir, Headmaster, sir, for this wonderful opportunity to have this conversation on financial parenting with NSSF. And this is part of a wider conversation on financial literacy. So if you're not a parent and you are online, you're watching, you are going to benefit just as much as those who have children and have to guide them to be able to learn how to manage money better. And like our headmaster has said, I'm joined by a capable panel. I want to dispute the fact that we are experts. I think we are we are on a journey. We are learning, and as we learn, we want to pass on what we are learning to those of you that are watching. Joining me, of course, for now is Joanne Katushabe. Joanne is a banker, like you have already heard, but I'll invite her to say a little bit more about herself before we start our conversation.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen, our online community. It's a privilege to be here. My name is Joanne Katushabe. I've been working with Finance Trust Bank for 20 21 years. My whole banking career is with one institution. I am a mother of 4 boys. I'm married. I am a financial literacy trainer, trained by the Bank of Uganda so many years ago. It's a privilege that I get to share my experiences with you, and I hope that you'll have a swell time with us today. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome, John. And yes, you do have a healthy CV. I'm going to use those words. And I think you are right where you need to be to, help us understand more about financial parenting. And we are also joined by Mr. Chris Nsubuga Muga. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah. Chris is a certified Maxwell coach. I would allow you to say a bit more about that and about what you do. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is and nice to meet you. Cheers, to Joanne. We've spoken on phone.
Yeah.
My name is Chris Davis Nsubuga, and I wear many hats. I've done a couple of things in the life that God has given me. It's true. I'm a certified John Maxwell coach. I'm also a certified Gravitas Impact coach. That's to do with business development, business growth. I've worked in development space. I've worked in private sector, done a couple of things. I'm a pastor as well.
Yes, you are.
I'm a father, proud father of 2. One who's 20 and second is 17. They're both at the uni. Been married 22 years. Happy to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We're in good company, people.
Yes.
And I want us to dive right into our conversation. I've already been introduced. My name is Rachel Mwine. I am moderating this conversation and very happy to. I enjoy conversations in the family space because I feel like for us to have a healthy nation, it all starts, that's the foundation, really, family. So financial parenting, I want us to go back to when you were both children and when you were growing up. What's that one money lesson that you learned or wish you had learned, and that is perhaps shaping how you are raising your children today? John, ladies first.
Thank you. I'll say something that I wish I had learned, because a bit of my employment journey was with irresponsible money decisions. So I grew up seeing my mother with a government salary and still be able to provide basics for us. One thing that I've never forgotten is that you had to know how to if you're entitled to 2 slices, if you eat your 2 slices today, tomorrow there's nothing for you. It's about maintaining what is in the basket so that it goes a long way. And so if you wanted to pack some for break, you eat 1 slice in the evening for tea, and then take the rest, the other 1 slice to school. And it's now with retrospect I said, she was she had a mindset, a very strong mindset. And then when I got to start to work, I decided I should eat everything and not plan for the next day. Yeah. And then the burden, of course, now is that your irresponsibility becomes someone else's burden. If you're married, it means that you can't fend for yourself. It means that sometimes then your salary is not enough to help you even get to work and things like that. I was so irresponsible. And I remember one time I told my mom, Mommy, I don't have money and what? And so I said, okay, break it down for me. Well, she's really good with money. And so I said, so when I get here, I buy bread and 2 slices cost this. And if you want an egg, it costs this. And she said, did you not leave any of those things at home? I said, I left them there. I said, so what was so hard about bringing them? Why do you have to spend money? I said, unless you can figure out that part of where your money is dropping and what you can replace, like bringing the break instead of, what your refreshment for work, taking it from home, using the resources that you have been provided, but spreading them further, it will help.
That's true.
And over time, I'm glad to say I have improved. I park from home, even now in my car, there'll be something to eat, there'll be something to drink, just so I might not spend some money, but use what is already provided for at home. Yeah.
That's an amazing lesson. I actually wanted to say at the very start of this conversation that I am learning, I guess, as much as the both of you are,
Dollar, yeah.
packing things from home,
Yes.
because I think one of the ways that we spend money is with, food. It's breakfast, it's lunch, it's a snack here. And so being able to use those resources and make sure that they are spread out, I think is very, very important. Chris, take us back to a few years ago. You're not very old, are you?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I wish I had a positive story.
Oh.
Mine is, it's the lesson I wish I had learned. But I think while I was learning it, I didn't have a chance knowing I was learning the lesson or the negative lesson of it. So my parents separated when I was 10 and a half. And so growing up in a single parent home, my mom was making ends meet with a secretary's salary. And so as it were, there was more month at the end of the money. And so there was this shopkeeper that we always bought stuff from. And so when the money ran out, there was this book where they write the things that are being taken.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, whenever you need whatever, you go ask, and then they write, and then they write, and then they write. And then at the end of the month, it's paid, then you pay cash, then it runs out, they send you. I don't know why it was always me that was sent, but it happened to be that's what happened.
Yeah.
Now, unknown to me, I was being trained and schooled in borrowing.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
When I grew older, I just didn't have a challenge, borrowing from the bank for this, that, the other. I remember we were building our first house. We'd done well. We had roofed it. We just needed to get windows, doors, and then start the finishing. And then my brother is coming to visit with his wife and kids. And I think I wanted to impress my brother. So look, I think we're doing well here. And then also our daughter had just been born, maybe barely 6 or so months. I said, I don't want to move into a house that has mud and stuff like that.
Yes.
I go to a bank and I get a mortgage.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly think we didn't need it. If we had gone, if we had paced ourselves, we would have finished that house without a loan. We did.
Yeah.
We took the loan. And then a few years later on, the global financial meltdown that hit America in 2008 arrives in Uganda. And it came 4 years later. And so, what do they call it? Inflation is going up. The Governor Bank of Uganda then decides to control inflation by increasing the interbank lending rate, which is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from the central bank. And they knock it down to a client. There's a little text in your mortgage agreement when you have, if you ever get one. And so it was a floating rate. You would think floating is a good word, but floating really means that if anything causes the interbank lending rate to go up, they transfer it to you.
Yeah.
So we came from a premium 15% to 29%, which is double the amount we had to pay per month. And that was coming. I had a good job. I was at the World Bank, but it really ate into it. And I'm a Christian, so you have to tithe. So then you end up with about 10% or 20% left. And then we had invested in forex trading. Don't do it at all. I kid you. Don't try it. So we had invested in forex trading, and then the forex trading investment goes belly up at the same time. Long story short, we had to sell that house and then start again and get another house and build over the years and things like that. So that's the lesson I wish I hadn't learned, but I learned.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a while to sort of get it out of our system. And so it's a lesson that I've told our kids, don't borrow.
Don't borrow.
Don't borrow.
And I think to your point, subconsciously, whether we want it or not, we are teaching our children something. Whether with your words, your actions. I think it's Apollo who mentioned earlier in the introduction that we are modeling behavior. And so when you send your child to a shop, to a supermarket, and ask them to pick something to be paid later, you're telling them that it's okay to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are,
Yeah, and it comes from that 2K, 4K
Yes.
And then they get to borrow 200 million.
Oof. We don't want that. We don't want that. Let's talk a bit about, first of all, our children are not earning money. And so parents might be wondering, where do I even begin to teach my child about money, about finances? So when does it begin? When do you think is the right time to teach a child about finances, even though they are not earning any kind of money? When do those habits, those financial habits begin? When can we start to pass them on to our children?
Did I go first? You go first.
Let me go first. Right. So children, since we're speaking from experience, I'll talk about mine. I find that they do have money, quite a bit of money, either from birthday gifts, those who get money for a school trip, and then maybe if you're able to get some as remainder, that becomes your money. We don't take it. And so I want to tell you that my 7-year-old, even my 4-year-old, has money in a million box. The savings boxes are called million boxes at my home. So they do have money. And they get to make financial decisions at that age. Yes, their financial decision is about a drink at the supermarket. Recently, my son said, I got my money and I bought a yo-yo. It's a play toy. And he made a financial decision, took the money from his wallet, and actually went and bought. But he said his brother did not have, so he thinks he should take some more from his wallet and go and buy for his brother. That turned out into my bill. Fine, I said, now I've used my money, now replace it. So he made a decision. So financial decisions are actually happening in whatever scope they are happening.
Do you mind sharing what ages?
Okay, so my children, my 4 boys, there's a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and then in between it's a 7-year gap, and then I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 4-year-old. So, and all of them have a different money character. There are those who are savers, there are those who don't really care, and my differently abled, I think his understanding is just simply growing on how to use money and how to split it and what. So for that one, you find that even the way you split his money is that you give money with instructions. Yeah. If you take this and they take away this, how much? So he's just guessing. I say, no, do subtraction. Yeah. Do subtraction. And so I think I'm modeling how to split money. Yes. I find myself giving him more changed money as opposed to giving him, because the subtraction that in the head might not, and you don't have a paper to do that calculation. And so you find that they're making decisions. So my answer is the question that they might not be earning, but they do have money somehow. There are times we've had to say, you know what, Donald, I need some money, fuel for that car. He says, take some, but you'll pay me back with extra. Now that one, he's astute in some way. He's 14. Yeah. And then the 4-year-old, I'm yet to see his character when it comes to money. So the question was, are they earning and should they be taught now? Yes, they should be taught. Yeah. They should be taught. When we are in the supermarket, they're participating by picking the brands. And now I've taught them to, you know why women, they say our shopping experiences are longer? We go to a supermarket for just a few things and we spend hours. We're counting. Yes. We're counting. How much would I save if I took this and things like that? I don't think men want that trouble. No. But for us as mothers, we take the trouble. And so now I can comfortably send one of my sons to go. He knows the brands. He knows where there's a saving. He knows what he shouldn't bring. He knows when to ask. And so that financial education should start at that point. As long as they're touching money, they better be learning how to at least keep it, dropping it in the million box, how to multiply it, or even trade between themselves, because that's the nature of life. Someone will have and someone won't have, and then if you have, your obligation is to help. I asked one of my sons, both boys, I said, guys, everybody bring 10,000 for Yaka, because I knew they have money. I've scanned the environment. I know. I know. And so one said, no, mommy, that's not my responsibility. Okay. Yes. And the older one says, okay, have, because for him, he's a free spirit. So then you learn the character, their money character, who is a giver, who needs more training and things like that. So I guess from when they are young, as long as they're interfacing with money, as long as they are transacting in some way, you give them money for a school trip, they need to be able to go to a shop or a supermarket and buy something. They should learn how to manage money, and especially keep some and not eat everything. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Chris, you have adult children.
Yeah.
What were you doing when they were growing up?
So first of all, to answer the question you asked first, because it was two-part.
Two-part.
The first is when when we should have money conversations with our kids.
Yeah.
As soon as they start breathing.
Oh, okay.
Because money is part of life. And so this whole idea of postponing the money conversation until the child is older and able to process it is not okay. So I think that from the get-go, just like children are able to observe you brushing your teeth and, you know, bathing or whatever, they need to see you and how you spend your money. The money conversation should be at the table because we learn more by, there's a learning triangle. There's information, imitation, and innovation. I believe that, yes, you can talk, but kids take in more what we do than what we say.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a monkey see, monkey do world, right?
Yeah.
So when the child sees how you get the money, you say, okay, so this is how much we got. This is what we're going to do. This is where we put this saving. This is what we do. Etc. etc. And it's consistent, and there is a pattern. I think some of what we need to pass on needs to be caught more than it is taught.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, there's got to be structures and frameworks. Piggy bank, graduate them to a savings account, graduate them to an investment group or something like that. Keep updating them on how much money they have. For us, we also, as we were saving ours, we were also saving for them, and we're keeping the accounts running, so they know how much they have. And then one of them at some point got some of their money and bought a pig. And then the pig had piglets, and then when they sold, they had quite some money, and they reinvested it. So their net worth has one having more than the other, but the other knows why, because it was fair. Okay. But they know that at some point, this guy invested, and this is how much they got. But over time, yes, the character, personalities are different, but you end up seeing that they have similar desires. We've raised them in one church. We've been in Worship Harvest all their lives. And the money conversation in Worship Harvest Ministries is big.
True.
And save, invest, that kind of thing. They've grown up hearing it from when they were kids, when they were in teens church. They were hearing it when they grew a little older. Not that they're very old. One is 17, she's not yet 18 actually. The other is 20. They both are in university. But the money conversation has been there. So you find that they're quite frugal with their money. Recently, they put together some of their money and deposited to buy land. They were actually able to do 50% of a plot of land. And so we're now working toward them buying together their first piece of land somewhere in Wakiso. So that then, so they're doing the whole journey. You save, you invest. And so they're at an age where, because our pastor and all of us keep talking about buy land, because they're not making more of it. That's how they are thinking, and that's how they're wired. And our older son is looking for every way he can. So he gets money for his upkeep, but he's looking for every way he can to earn so he can send back money to invest in land, because he knows they're not making more of it. And if you start early, if you start saving and investing early, there's a time I showed them the graph of you invest a little here, but it grows over a 20-year period. You're so much ahead of everybody else. So he's trying to beat that curve. They're all trying to beat that curve. So that's how I would say it.
Yeah.
It's a journey. As they grow older, you keep on tweaking it, but the principles stay the same.
Yeah. So at the start rather, Apollo talked about modeling behavior. We got a question from our audience, which I actually want to take this opportunity to remind our audience that please send through your questions and your comments. Our panelists will answer as many as they can. Someone was asking about teaching about finances for different ages, because your children, okay, so you have a wider spectrum. You have a 4-year-old and a 16-year-old. Chris's children are 17 and 20. What games are good for teaching about finances for different ages? Physical games, online. I think what this person is asking really is, how do I teach? What are some ways? So we have modeling, and I think you talked a bit about that. Some things are taught, others are caught. You have the modeling, you have instruction, because I'm sure at some point you sit down and explain to your children how money is spent and how it grows and how to invest. If you could share, of course, from your different experiences, how that has played out in your home. When you were having conversations about money, what were those conversations? Were you vulnerable about the mistakes that you have made, and maybe what you're doing to correct them? I don't know if my question is clear.
Yeah. So I don't call this a game. It's something we do at home. So we have this policy that on Friday night, a shopping list is derived for the market and the supermarket.
Okay.
And so if a child wants anything, they have to have it on the list.
I like that.
I kid you not. If I'm in the supermarket and your thing is not on the list, it's not on
involved.
the list.
Yeah.
It's not on the budget. And so they like saying, if Daddy was here, he would have gotten this. I say, look around. He's not here. Today I'm here. So it's not unusual for them to say, Mommy, let me have the list before we leave home, so that they can add what it is they would like. Usually they're disciplined children. They want extra pencils. Maybe one wants a set, a ruler. It has to be on the list. True. Even if it's educational, but it didn't show up on the list, it means the money was not provided. Yes. And so that one, they have now learned. Even the help at home, because somebody else will derive the market list and, they know. They'll say, please give us back the list before you go. Once it gets to be, it's done. Yeah. And so I sometimes look back and say, Joanne, aren't you being too strict? But I'm like, no, we're modeling. So I truly believe that I will one day overhear them talking to their children, telling them it's not on the list.
It's not happening.
Not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And the way consumerism is that things are stationed where you're paying. Children can see you getting change back. So they say, can't you just give me that? But you also have the liberty to take some money from your wallet or wherever and use it.
Yeah.
And use it. And so I just thought I should say it's not a game. It's an exercise. And we're modeling that way. It really helps with the shopping. Already I take too long shopping. I'm analyzing price. So if I went without a list, I would spend a whole day there. And so a list also is a guidance. We need this, we go here, we go here, we go here. And so that is how we are modeling the expense game.
Yeah.
Maybe what I've picked from Chris is that you need to model the inflow.
Yes.
Because we're modeling the expenses right now, but they need to also learn how to the inflow of money.
Of money.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think there's a bit of both there. There's instruction, you're having conversations, and then there's the modeling of the behavior.
The imitation.
And the imitation.
Yes.
And observance as well, because for the many Fridays that you have done it, over time now that has become part of their culture. You know that if your thing is not on the list, it's not. There's a lot happening in that exercise. Yes. So I quite like that. Yes. Chris, anything?
Yeah, so the games, money games. When I was growing up, we played Monopoly.
Yes.
It's a good game. I think it switches on the business brain, right? But then when our kids were growing up, Cash Flow had come on the market.
Yes.
The game Cash Flow by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And so they watched us play. There was a season we played it a lot. They sort of picked some of it and that kind of thing. But I think that the best game for our kids to play, the best money game for our kids to play is the real money game. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's play with 10K.
With real money.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So you get 10K, what do you do with it? From where we hail, you take 10% off, that's tithe. It belongs to God.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you don't tithe, you're going to lose most of your money.
Yeah.
Stuff will happen and you'll lose it. Okay, so take off your 10%. Next is you take off your 20% minimum for saving, which is 2K off that. All right, and then so of course as they're younger, we've been insisting on a higher percentage, because if you're not paying the bills,
Yes. What else are you using your money
what else
for?
are you using your money for? So what that does is that it gave them a very high threshold for saving. So they are not thinking 20%, they're thinking 40, 50%, because it's what they've been used to.
Yeah.
And now, of course, they're starting life and they're out there, and then you send them their upkeep money and they're trying to save it, but it's not enough to save. And, so they're thinking, how do I make more money, and that kind of thing. And like I said, exposing them to consequences. Okay, so let me just go through the money management. 10% tithe. That's very important, and it's the first 10%. It's the first 10K. If you get 10K, you can't spend anything until you get change. Get your 1K and put it aside. That's tithe. Put it in an envelope. That's God's money. Then 20%, treat it like the 10. Put it aside for saving. And then, so then we said, you can only use 30% on yourself, 50%. You should also keep it away. So we tried to make sure they save a lot more. But the idea is that once you at least have the basic of tithe and saving, and then you get the rest, you spend a little and then get the rest of your saving and invest it. So in the church where we go, we have a Harvest Multipurpose Cooperative, which is a multipurpose circle. So they like to put their money in, and it grows, and other investment groups. So they go for the AGM and they say, this is how much money you put in. But now, as you know, when they announce the interest, they say, my money grew. So they love that, right?
Yeah.
So also allowing them to make decisions and facing the consequences. So one knows that when I missed an investment opportunity, my money didn't multiply, I lost. Or I gave some money, I want to lend my brother or whoever it is, my sister, money, or a friend. Okay, you lend them, then you let them go through the whole cycle of the person is acting funny, the relationship is weird, then you're chasing your money and some of it doesn't come back. And they're like, man, dude, that guy, I'll never give him my money. They don't pay. So why you want them to be exposed to that early is they are playing the money game at a threshold which will not damage them. Because if you grow up with that trust and think for people, and then someone borrows your life savings and makes off with it,
Yeah.
So I think that what the loving thing to do with money is expose the children to real money early, and let them instruct them, give them guidance, but let them face the consequences of their decisions early. So then they are practiced in the right decision making. For me, what you do with money is almost the same as what you do with a mobile phone. But that's not the conversation for today. I in both cases, I think that early exposure, while you're watching how they are going about it so they don't die, but it's safe enough for them to experience real life and form a mind and a heart.
Mindset and attitude about money. I want us to talk about the parents, the two people who are modeling money or who are trying to teach or who are trying to guide. And I'm assuming that there are two parents. There are some people who are in single parent households. My apologies. Already as adults, I mean, this is partly why we are having this conversation with NSSF, that we are struggling with our money habits. We think maybe because I earn 100,000 at the end of the month, I have nothing to offer in terms of teaching my children about money. where is the intersection, and maybe what can I as a parent do to equip myself to train my child or to model better behavior? Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. So as a parent, I am, say, way in my 30s, 35. I've made so many money mistakes. I struggle to save. I have all these excuses about why I shouldn't save. Maybe I even know only saving. I have not even bothered to think about investment. I don't have a budget. What would be a starting point for a parent that is watching us this morning to say, I want to be able to pass on something to my children? What would the starting point be for me? So I guess what I'm asking is, what are some of those money tips or money lessons that you'd want to pass on to a parent that would be great for them to pass on to their children?
So I'll pick up from what Chris said about consequences. Living through your consequences should teach you something.
It should.
That's the first thing.
Yes.
Because you go a certain direction because maybe you're misinformed or you're just irresponsible or not educated or, and so the consequences. I'll give an example. The reason I was asking my boys to contribute to Yaka is because the minister in charge of lights, we had somebody who was assigned that, was not doing their job. So there'll be too many lights. You walk into a house, it's so lit up.
Yeah.
And yet there's nobody in that room and there's nothing happening that warrants a light, being on. So I said, maybe let us get them to participate. Maybe when they start paying, they'll start to switch off his lights, because we switch off the lights because we pay. And so management of consequences in our personal lives then helps us to forge. I'll give an example. Because of my poor money habits, despite being in a bank, somehow people think in the bank we have it all together. We know how to. When I joined the bank in 2005, I had never seen 1 million shillings.
Wow.
I hadn't.
Yeah.
And so now they give it you to count it. And then I started to count. And then I felt it was 10,000 shillings, those are 100 notes in a bundle, so that's 1 million shillings. And so I started to count the way I thought they count money. And every time someone would talk, I lose the count, I go back. But here you're a teller.
Yeah.
So I don't want conversations. And by the time I even left the teller job, I didn't want people to converse with me. People say, how is the weather? But I'm counting. Leave me. And so at the end of the day, that was the very first day in the till. I had failed to count the money. The accountant saw that I couldn't, and then she just took the money and counted. So in the evening, my dad called me and said, so how was the first day in the till? I said, I failed to count 1 million shillings. He said, what happened? So every time someone would talk, I would lose the count, and then I kept going back to 1, 2, 3. Yes. And then he told me something, and that's how I count my money up to today. If there are 100 notes, divide 100 by 4, that's 25. Yeah. So split the bundle, count 25, count another 25, count another 25, count another 25, and that makes it. And that principle works whether it's 20,000, whether it's 50,000, because the 20,000 will manifest at 2 million, and the 50K bundle will manifest at what? 5 million. And that's how I count my money. And so what have I learned over the years? I learned that that's how I count money. Guess what? That's what I'm going to train. I don't know any other way.
Yes.
Especially when the bundle is the machine type. If there are these ones which are bundled into 100,000, those ones I can. Even then, I've learned now not to mix 20s with 10s. I first put 10s alone. That is banking, but it is real life. That's how you count money. Put the like ones aside, like ones, and then start to count, You first bundle them and then count them.
Yeah.
And so those are the tips. Okay. When it comes to management of debt, I gave myself, I think from time of COVID, 5 years. My task was to get out of debt. I went to SSFG, Worship Harvest.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And when they did that net worth count, I had nothing. I only had NSSF. Thank you, Jesus. I only had NSSF money.
You had something.
No,
yes,
NSSF is a savior when you're looking at net worth.
Yes.
It's usually the one that makes the left-hand side look good. Yes.
So I did not have land. I did not have cash in the bank. I did not have equities. what else? They said paper money, something like that.
Commodities.
Commodities. There was no cow, nothing. And it's not that I'd never interfaced with the scenario of having cows, but the quickest thing to do is to sell them.
Yes.
When you have a money issue.
Yes.
And so a series of bad decisions based on, carelessness and sometimes lack of education. And so from that, I said, from onwards from here, if there's an IPO, I'm going to participate. The good thing, they take your little money. They don't need hundreds of millions. IPOs, I went. The moment I think CIPLA came out in that time, I said, Joan, please, you've learned. And and that's the advice we were given. The only way this information will help you is if you actually do something. And so I started to do in the IPOs, I participated, and then, which meant at least I could put something on equities, because my task was to fill in that. When it came to commodities, the easy thing for us in the West is cows.
Yes.
And so put something. So that net worth calculation can transform. And then the issue, of course, then is how do you have cash? Is to manage, do the things your mother's told you, pack from home, you don't have to eat from work and things like that. And when you can't afford it, stay. You'll have supper at home. It's not a must to eat when everybody is eating and things like that. And so dealing with my consequences means that I have learned then what I will tell my children. And I'll tell them from a fact. Now, when it came to government securities, you say if you keep learning about it, you'll always tell someone else's story. But when you participate, you're telling your own story. And so I participated, and now I can tell someone comfortably, do this, go here, this person is going to help you, And so I can tell that to my children. We're not yet at the point where we're discussing that, but I know that time is going to come and I'll equip them. Then the unit trusts. There are so many products, financial products that are available for us to use, apart from banking where you keep the money, but you must transform it into something. Upmore used to say, target it. Don't let it stay, target it. So keep it here so that you can get an amount and target it. And so now, like you said, you're saving for the children, we're saving for the children. But my second son says, put this for me on my unit trust.
My unit trust,
And it's good to give him a statement at the end of every period to say, this is how much you have. Because for him, his understanding is more when it comes to money. He's the one who's lending us money in the banks. I mean, in the home. So I know that
with
one.
Interest.
Yes, with interest. Yes, you add 1,000, it can never come back the same.
Yeah.
And so when you have somebody who also has shown that they can build an astuteness, you sort of concentrate on that child, and the rest you mold. And so for me, my answer to that question is for me to give tips is manage your consequences. What did you learn? What have you done? Now teach that. Because you're not telling someone else's story, you're telling your own story. And so then the outcomes of those are not foreign stories. Because someone asks you a question in the middle of the story and you have no answer. But no, this one I tell you for myself.
Experience, yeah.
And so in the last 5 years, I said, you know what? No loan from the bank. You are a staff, so you get good rates. I said, no. Let me eat what I have.
Restraint.
Yes. And the word eat what I have. Eating mindset. Let me use what I have.
Yeah.
And from time to time, of course, there will be instances where you have to do something quicker and things like that. But at least I have stood on ground not to borrow, from the bank, just so that I can learn how to then split the money. It means then I can purpose to save for an IPO that's coming. I can put a little money aside for the investment, which previously I couldn't, because everything, after they've taken off the loan, you really, really are just asking for water.
Yes.
You're asking for water, like you're suffocating.
Yeah.
So that is what I would answer for now.
I like that. I like that. Learn from your consequences. Yes. Yeah. Chris?
Was the question about tips for kids, what you pass on to the children?
Yes, you as a parent, what do you have to pass on to the children? Because I think many parents we're struggling. Okay. That is the truth.
So for me, first thing is pass on the bad stories. Be vulnerable. Say, look, we made this decision. It was a bad decision. This is what it got us. So So you drive and say, see that house? That was ours. We had to sell it because of this. We are here because of that. For me, I feel that when we don't hide the things that didn't go well, you're able to equip the child to say, I will never. My parents told me, they showed me, I know the consequence, so that they don't have to learn from the land of hard knocks.
That's true.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think that that's the first thing. You lose nothing by being vulnerable where you didn't do well.
Yeah.
But then also celebrate with them when you do well. It's okay for the kids to see more than 1 million shillings.
I didn't know
And,
this.
and I'm being conservative because I don't want to say things here, but let them see the money.
Yeah.
So that the first 1 million they touch is not,
It's not in the bank.
when they're the bank teller, right? So you earn, you go withdraw, let them see the bank balance. So some
Yeah.
people are like, no. So then what if they tell? Tell who?
Tell who?
It's
right?
your family money and things
Yeah.
like that. So then what that does is it also helps, because one of the things in the game of money I find that's really hard to break is that financial thermostat, your ceiling, the lead in your mind on how much money you can make or keep. Okay? And so if you've grown up in a scenario where there is zero all the time and you don't have any that's yours, you have nothing you count, you know, so you grow up with zero, so your thermostat says zero. All the money you earn, you are looking for some way to make it zero. Okay? So if your child gets to see how much money you earn, or when it comes, you know, you have a deal and, you know, and they see it, what it does is that it lifts their thermostat.
Yes.
And they see you still breathe, you still stay married to their mother, you don't get another wife,
A wife, yes.
and that kind of thing, then they know what to do with their bumper harvests or whatever it is. I really think that you know, as a father, fathering is micro moments. It's not huge events where you know,
Yeah.
it's micro moments. It's those little things that you do. You know, sometimes you have something coming up and you pray about it. They need to hear you pray.
That's true.
They need to see you put aside your tithe and put it in an envelope. They need to see you put aside money to give in church or to give to others. They need to see you honoring people,
Yeah.
right? So that they can learn it as well. I think that there is no single tip apart from if you put yourself in order and make yourself imitatable, then get them to watch and get them to do what you do. It will be easy.
Yeah.
And then also say, guys, I'm still struggling in this thing.
area. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to overcome this, but I want you to know it's bad. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And here's how far I am. Now I'm out of it. So that, because I feel like that's the best thing. Like, this is not a money story, but my maternal grandfather told all his kids never to take alcohol, because when he was 7 or 8, 7, he was called to the garage. His dad was a mechanic. And so he was called to the garage and he finds his dad lying down and he's convulsing. Back in the day, the way the treatment they gave people who are convulsing was urine. Okay, so they were giving him urine, and then the containers ran out, and then there were guys delivering live into his mouth. Okay, that's the last, and then the dad died. That's the last time he saw his father alive.
Oh,
so he was like, never drink. He said to himself, I will never drink alcohol. And he told his kids never to drink alcohol. That story was passed on to me. I don't touch alcohol.
Wow.
Because of that story, right? Now, of course, he had some kids who decided to still take alcohol. What's interesting is the 4 that decided to out of maybe 11 or 12 are the ones who died fast, quick, in rapid succession.
Yeah.
So there's a certain thing about when you model it, but you also, you don't just tell the victory stories, you tell the losses. You say, this is why we don't, or this is why we do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Say for example, because I'm Uganda, living in Uganda, you know, with these land tenure systems where we own land and you have a title. So every money you get, you buy land. So but it gets to a point where you can be asset rich and cash poor. Okay?
Yeah.
So you have this huge net worth, but
Doesn't translate.
yeah, the bank is not doing well, and then NSSF tells you, we'll see you at 50 something, or if you're 55. You know, and of course you don't want to touch it at 55 because you're still strong. So then you start, because there's the Jewish law where the law of thirds, to keep a third of your money in assets, a third of your money in business, a third in cash. So that's actually our current fight, to say we need to be more cash, like spread the ratios more, so that the assets have something permanent, something in between, and something more liquid. And there's of course different tools in that, and then even volunteering to put more money in NSSF beyond what is required is one of the ways, because the money is there. Or at least there's been proof that it is there so far. Yes.
Man, the alcohol story was such a harsh cautionary tale. And I think that there's room for those even on our parenting journey to be open and honest about our struggles and the consequences. And I mean, you were talking about taking your children to, say, the house that could have been yours. Maybe they even lived through it. You might remind them, you remember a time when we were in this house and we had to move from it. This was the reason why, you know. And I think as when we are growing up, we see our parents as everything. They are our heroes, you know, they do no wrong. So it's when we are adults that we realize, oh man, they made such terrible mistakes. I think it would be better to kind of desensitize the child's mind even when they're still in your household.
Yeah, and if you allow me.
Yeah.
I think that you lose nothing capturing the stories of your life and passing them on.
Yeah.
Right? Because what you want is you're passing on wisdom. Right? Wisdom, there's an author who said wisdom is the ability to know the difference. Right? And so you want them to know the difference. Okay? So how do they know the difference if you have sugar-coated your life and there's parts of your life that you don't tell? All right? Of course, the other, if you swing it on the other end, it's the parent who is super successful financially, like both my grandparents were, and they never tell their kids how they do it.
That is
so you grow up wealthy, some spoiled brat who cannot reproduce the things the parent did. Why? Because you never told them. Why? Because you thought that the money conversation was too early for them. The Indian, I remember we studied with Indian kids in Buganda Road. You'd walk from Buganda Road. First of all their homes were in Kampala. So you'd escort them, they would go home first. You pass by the shop. Right? And if you linger a little bit, they go put their bag, come into the shop, and start selling alongside their parent and their grandparent who are all in the shop. Okay? And I remember another guy, he was called Musa. His dad had a business. His parents had a business on William Street. He as well, they were Muslim Ugandan family. He as well would escort him. He gets to the shop, he puts down his bag and starts selling. And what marveled me was he knew the prices of the different things. It's almost like you inherit the price list. Okay? But what that's doing is, this is how money is made. Money is not made by asking for it.
Oh man.
Money is made by working for it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now you need to start then giving these guys opportunity to work. Okay, so there is a gig, someone wants you to do X and Y for them. Go do it, get paid.
Yeah.
There is pigs. If you invest in a piglet, it's 100K. We'll help you feed it, but after some months, 6 months, you can sell it at 600K. etc, etc. Sorry for guys who don't eat that thing. It's my story. I don't know how to modify it. But the point I am making is that the kids also need to, because like in Straightforward Financial Growth, what Apostle Moses Mukisa teaches, which is really a really good book. I think one of the best we have in the country. You know, you get it, you keep it, you grow it and give it, right? Get it, guard it, grow it, give it. Those are the 4 tenets of wealth creation, if you like. So if the child does not know how to get money, yes, you are telling them to guard it, to save. They have the million box. But how do they get it in?
Yes.
So, for example, in her story, the second born is the one who is learning how to get it in. It's like, I give you, you give me interest, I get more. Right? The rest are keeping. So that muscle needs to grow. How do they learn how to get? Investing in different things. Some of the investments we get in with them together, they go belly up. Say, no, we lost that money. This one is, you know. So they need to learn how to get it. And then they need to learn how to guard it. Then they need to learn how to grow it, investment. So they are able to say, no, we want to be in this group because like our son, he likes Harvest Multipurpose because it's steady and it gives a certain steady interest. So it's like, his aunt is like, I want to send money there because I know my money will grow. And there are many people investing in the place, okay? And then giving, that's another thing, learning how to give. She talked about it. Because it's a funny thing how, you know, you can live in an economy where you must earn everything you work for. But there is another economy where you can also earn because of what you give.
This is true.
You know, it's more blessed to give than to receive. Because you give, it comes back to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Shall men put in your bosom? You give to people, you get from people. It's a real world. Right? What I find funny also is, and I'll say this last piece, probably pass it on to Joanne, is, you know, most of the really wealthy people are really, really generous. And it doesn't matter what their religion is. So you'll find Sudil somehow in their thing, that Indian festival, something, you find they're giving away food and stuff like that. The Muslim guys do that. The Christian guys do that. Look, because giving is a God thing. It's not a particular religious sect. It's a God thing. It's like God to give, for God so loved the world that he gave. Right? So if we don't teach our children to give, then we're denying them an opportunity to have supernatural finances, as it were. And you know, we can have that debate of whether I can talk about that or not, but there it is, real life. And we are talking real life. So
I would like to add something.
Please.
I was having a conversation with my parents, my father-in-law and my mother. And, you know, as they're in the evening years, they come from the era where wealth meant land. And now they want us to utilize the land. The privilege of having land that is seated there and your children are busy in offices, it really pains them. And I believe there are other people like me whose parents have said, but you know what, this is available, why don't you use it? I said, you know, do what with the land? Someone might say, what is she talking about? So you grow up, you go to school, holidays are for coaching because you must get good grades. You're raised like British monarchs. And now the land is available and they say you go back and farm. And farm what? Sometimes I'm like, you know, that type of thing. And so having that conversation with your parents to see their pains means, for me, I think I learned from consequences, is to know that now this could be a conversation I'll have with my children. Because I told my mother, you see, I don't know which matoke is banana and which is And when they can see them from the stamps and know what it is. That this is a bogoya, this is a matoke for peeling. I said, you know what, I don't know what it is. That the reality of how we have been raised vis-a-vis the aspirations we have for the children.
Yeah.
So whatever the aspiration is, what the Indians do is that they know the aspirations, and therefore they are modeling, guiding, giving price lists, showing financial negotiation, showing a win-win, a win-lose, you know. And that's why people are free to trade with maybe Indians, because they know the mathematics of this business. From a child to the eldest. While you start grappling with it, when now you're looking for alternative means of making money so that you cannot have NSSF just on your net worth schedule. So for me, that conversation really is eating me up currently. When you have to make sure you have money to save, to give, to do that, but then also know that the pains of your parents, this land is also going to be theirs ultimately. And what you teach, what you learn right now from the parents, and on utilization of assets and making them make money for you, is an important conversation. And once you harness it, then you're able to comfortably tell children. So we wake up on Saturday morning, you're going so far to the farm, but you leave the children. And then later you want them to know how to deal with the cows. They won't know. They only know how to sell. They will know how to consume. So it's the other thing is my caution to parents is listen to what your parents are saying. If you have the privilege of having them, listen to what they're saying right now, because it envisions the conversations you're going to have with your children.
Your own children.
And I like to say I'm a parent who is being parented. I've not stopped being my father's child or my mother's child. And now I'm my father-in-law's child. And he's also parenting me. And so listen to those conversations, translate them, do something about them so that then you can tell a story that is valid, that your children have seen. So wake up, take your children to the farm with you, let them see how you negotiate with workers, how you determine the price of crops. I've been privileged in the last 2 months, because my mother is a grower of bell pepper and she has a greenhouse. So we have to drive, get the bell pepper, take it to Nakasero market, weigh it, and bring back her money. The only earning you have is your transport. The rest is education. You're learning, you're being schooled, you know? And so because that model is there for me, I willingly take it, then I'll be able to reproduce it for my children. And that's something that parents can do right now.
Yeah, I like that. And I think we also can't discount the fact that generations are going to change, and what we are doing now may not be what our children want to do in later years, to be able to bring in the money. So, I mean, by all means, show your kids what you're doing, take them to the farm. They might choose AI as their career path and their channel for bringing in the money. As you know, a parent here is asking, I want us to get to some of the questions that our audience is asking. This one is coming in from Deborah Namayanja. She says, my son, and Chris, I'll ask you to answer this, is 17 years. He picked interest in online trading at 15 years and started reading and probably practicing. He said, I cannot do anything to stop him. I'm worried. Is it safe for him? Kindly advise. Won't he be lazy to work?
Okay. So when you know what you're doing and you're sitting on tons of cash, Forex trading works.
Yep.
Please, let me say it again. Part A, when you know what you're doing. Part B, you're sitting on tons of cash. Forex trading works. Because as you trade, there are times when whatever you're trading, when it's a bear market, when it's going down, right? And it can stay down for a long time. And while it's down, it's chewing up your reserves, okay? But if you stay long enough, then you have a bull market when it's starting to go up and you're making the profit. Now, Forex trading is done by people who work in banks, people who do all these mutual funds and things like that. I suspect NSSF does some of it because they are sitting on tons of
Of cash.
money.
Yeah.
Now, you with your 40 million, my dear, 10K dollars is not anything.
Nothing.
Even if you started by trading $2, you're going to get greedy. You want to trade more, 100 and whatever. So it's like if a child, you know, decides to play Zara, Ludo, gambling, and that's how they want to make their money. So here's what you do. Give them they have their saving of 100K. Let them put. And so it's blown. And they will see it going, the pairs go down, 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 and squish.
Finish.
And they say, Mommy, where's my money? It's not there. So they learn from 100,000 Uganda shillings as compared to 100 million.
Yes.
All right? Again, allow them bear the consequences of the things that they think they are being wise. All right? There's a time one of our children did a certain investment. I think it's going to be a really good business, but so it takes many risks. So he did this thing. I was like, are you sure? I was like, Dad, I'm sure I spoke English, man. I was like, okay, let's go. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Great thing is that he got an asset out of it, which he's using. But that particular business idea didn't work. But then it's helping him to do other things now. So the thing is that do not cushion them from the consequences, but just make sure they're not bearing consequences they can't recover from.
Yeah.
All right? I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like all things that are risky, and everything is a risk, especially if you go out of your father's home or your mother's home. Whatever you do, and I'm just using that as an example, is to teach them the basics of pivoting early. Not everything will go well, but how long do you stay down? And that's why when a child falls down, the Ugandan way or the African way is look away and let the child get up,
By themselves.
you know, by themselves.
Yes.
Yes, because if you look there, they cry, they want cuddling. It's okay to cuddle them, but not all the times.
Yeah.
So if I mean, it's like disciplining. I give you a first warning, it's verbal. The second warning is verbal. And the third one, we're discussing with slippers, because you're discussing with slippers. So that consequences have to help. They will learn from them. Sometimes you let them be, and then they will learn from them.
Yeah.
If they start early enough with the forex trading, they will learn how not to be depressed just because something. They need to pivot early.
Yeah.
Pick yourself up. Do something else. Try again, because you want your children to know that they can try again.
Sure.
One loss is not the end of life. And so what I would advise the mother is, you know, get the child. If they have 100,000, how much was goods? 10%. How much was for investment? How much was saving? Let them put the 10% for investment in forex trading. By all means, let them not put all the 100% into that. So have the conversation with your child where they can put aside for saving, put aside for investment, put aside what is going to God, and God, of course, is first. And then let them play or use what was in the investment basket. And then let them learn with that. And who knows, you know, life is in such a way that you might find that is what they're made to do. Like if you fail as a mother to convince them, then you want to go along and say, you know what, I'm here for you, but do things the right way, and then proceed. And that principle, once they learn it, they use it even in other scenarios. Put aside, invest here, and you know this is forgiving. And so that then you're not keeping them from taking risks. I think sometimes we have children who are too cautious. There's one I tell, you know, you have to go somewhere and you're going to have to take a boda. At 16, I can't be
Driving you
everywhere. You drive to drop for a club, pick them up. I said, now we have to model independence, like to give you experiences where you can make your own decisions. And I'm speaking about my son who was discussed earlier. And so he said, but it's dangerous. It is, but we have to go. You see, you have to go. You have to. As a mother, it is difficult, but you have to let them go. You don't want to make decisions in their households. I'm also cautious that as a parent, you're parenting their children, because the principles that you pass on will affect you. You'll raise your children the same way. Your standard of certain things is your mother's standard or your father's standard. You know, the alcohol thing. It's really your father's standard or your grandfather's. And so just to give them principles, and those principles affect whether it's 100,000, whether it's 100 million, whether it's $1 billion. If they can keep that principle, they'll always have a safety net that they can revert to.
Yeah.
Just allow me, because forex trading is very dangerous. In my story, I told you, we tried it out. When it goes belly up, it goes belly up. And it comes with tears and so much more. The thing to think about, and again, this is from Straightforward Financial Growth, to say, if you have 100,000 to invest, let 60,000 go to something that's permanent, land, okay? Low risk, low return. Let 30,000 go, which is 30%, go to something that is medium risk, medium return. Mutual funds, something, give it to NSSF, okay. Like, just because it's not, the interest is not going to be 25, 30%. They'll give you 11 or 12, but it will come, all right? And then you then get that 10% and put it in forex trading. So that when it's blown, you're not crying. You have a 90% cushion, all right? I can tell you, I cannot be on any platform and encourage any individual to do forex trading.
Except if they have tons of money.
Unless they are an institution with tons of money like NSSF, which is collecting other people's money and has professionals who are well trained and can handle forex trading. It's not a game.
It really isn't.
Look, you're playing Zara with money. Okay, sorry.
You're playing Zala with money. I think you've made your case. Okay, our next question comes from Obatia Thomas. He says there's a saying from low-income earners that without a loan, one will never develop, and here you are saying borrowing is bad. How can the low-income earners develop without borrowing? Because their income is also too small to save. So maybe elaborate on that. I think at one point we said
I can tell you.
Yeah.
So, been there, done that, won the t-shirt. Let me tell you about borrowing. So it starts with small money you can handle. You know, you borrow, you pay, you borrow, you pay. It's kind of, you know, it's okay, and like interest is okay. But like my pastor likes to say, you never know when you're going to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Like, I was working in the World Bank. Hello, I was making good money. The bank I borrowed from even at some point called me and my wife for premium customers end of year party something. They took us to some hotel in some forest, some high-end place to appreciate us for being good clients.
Wow.
Okay. That's what they do to you when you're paying. Okay. When you start struggling, some good guy with a gruff voice tells you how the call is being recorded for quality purposes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Why? Because you can't dictate what life is going to throw at you.
That's true.
Life sometimes throws curveballs, right? Something can happen and you have to, you know, you're not able to pay back as you thought. Your investment goes belly up. Something wrong happens. So the challenge with debt is not the small one that you take now. It's the appetite that keeps growing. It's just like gambling. You know, going for sports betting and you kusiba 10K. It's not so bad. Yeah. It's not so dangerous. You say it's only 10K. Really, look, I could have eaten my 4 Rolexes. I'm just doing sports betting.
Yeah.
It's the 10K that gives you 100K, and you become greedy, and you start saying, "Listen, bifuna chiraru." So then you get 1 million and you put it in. Because that 10K brought you 100 million, you put in 1 million. When the 1 million doesn't work, you put in 2. When that 2 doesn't work, you put in 4, right? And before you know it, because here's the thing about gambling, the house never loses. The guys who started the business will always win.
That's their business.
It's their business to win. You know, there's a certain guy, he now died. He was speaking on behalf of a certain political party. He said, listen, we are the ones who decide when the election will happen. We are the ones who print the ballots. We are the ones who count, and we are the ones who announce the winner. How do you expect us to lose? Tamale Mirundi actually said it on TV. Okay? So when you are doing gambling, it's the house. The house has to win. So there is no way someone who's lending money, if they know what they're doing, there's no way they are losing. There's their interest rate. There is your shuttle, your what do they call it? The thing you put in.
Security.
Your security.
Collateral.
Yeah.
Your collateral. All right. Yeah. So and all that is available for the taking. They get you to actually sign away your life, and sometimes they lend you 40% of the asset that you are signing away. They're going to make 60%. And do you know what else about borrowing? When you borrow from an organized organization, this is what happens. So just look at it as an X, okay? So this is the principal, all right? This is the principal, and this is the lifetime of the debt, okay? Sometimes it goes up to 700% of what you're borrowing, okay? So this is what they do. They first skim off their interest.
Oh, okay.
So this is interest. So for every, say, 1 million you're paying, about 20K, 40K is reducing on principal. The rest is their interest. So they get all their interest all these years, and you're paying very little principal. Okay? So after you have fought with that thing 15 years, you say, but you people, have paid money. They say, oh, no, sir, for us, you still have, according to our records, this is what the record shows. You're at the 15-year point, maybe it's about there, okay? You're just beginning to knock off big amounts of the principal, and they have harvested all their interest.
Yeah.
They have little left.
Yeah.
They pay themselves first. If it's your business, that's what you do.
This is true.
Okay? So just like when I see a young man and he's getting excited about girls, I say, young man, look, this thing, you don't go and reason with it. The Bible recommends you flee. Fleeing is something between flying and running. Okay? Yeah, like a friend of mine, Peter Igaga on NTV Mendi says, there is no ugly woman. As long as you get close, you're finished. So, you run. Okay? This is the same thing you do with debt.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes circumstances, I don't know what, but generally, when it comes to debt, you run. So you're going to tell me that low-income earners, that's how they do it. I don't think I was very high income.
And you went to
I
the
didn't
forest.
do it.
Premium banking.
I didn't do it. I don't know how they do it, but I can tell you that the slow way, shortcuts are the longest way to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So I would say, and maybe you're talking about low-income earners who actually earn more money than you. Can I talk about that for a bit? So you see, when you wear this tie, you swing it, you're in the World Bank or some organization, you have a card that's off your hip, you swipe it and then the door opens, you think you're making all the money. It's a lie. Kampala Road, Upper Kampala Road and Lower Kampala Road live totally different lives. Those guys have something called cash flow. They make money every day. You make money once a month. You're not in the same league. So you find that the people you think are low
money,
income
yeah.
actually have cash flow. Actually, they are it's an informal business. Okay? You.
Enough said.
I would like to answer.
Yes, very
Because,
briefly. We have quite a number of
yes,
questions.
I'm in banking, so I don't want the Thomas to think any different. I know that I've seen live examples of people who have joined our top savers list, yet they started really small. The beauty about working in an institution for a long while is you can see and you're like,
Money
what?
grow.
This person is on top
Yeah.
savers list, but I opened their account the other day and they were saving 1,000. This is what I'll tell Thomas. Debt, banks are in the business of giving giving debt.
Yeah.
We make a lot of money from it. At Finance Trust Bank, we do. It's our biggest money maker.
Yeah.
And many people have been able to change their circumstances and life by taking that debt.
Yeah.
I know that we give school fees loans so that children can go to school. I know that we give business loans to women so that they can have that market stall that will provide food and shelter and clothing and school fees and things like that, because of a bank that puts women first. I also know that there's some principles we maintain that we encourage our customers to maintain. One, the debt should never start your business, because while you're still thinking about how the month has gone, we want our money. So as a principle, only get debt when you know how your business works. 6 months to a year should give you an understanding of how your business works, and then you can add debt. Even then, when you get that debt, don't get 100% of what you need.
High gearing ratio.
Get it in portions. At least have 30% and then get 70. At least have 50 and get 50, or have 70 and get 30. That way, we shall still earn the interest, but there won't be such a hindrance on your life. There's something we call over indebtedness. Not over indebtedness from a sense that you took too many loans, but you took an amount that you surely changed your life. In the sense that, and I'll speak from my example, I took debt one time that changed my life. Yet I'm employed.
Negatively.
Yes. From eating 2 meals a day to 1.
1 square meal. Like
Yes.
You have
Like
to
if
save.
you were really to live, the only thing you can wait for is supper, which anyway is provided, everybody is going to consume it. That means you overborrowed your means, or you overstated something, and therefore the money that is left cannot allow you to live a basic life. It means you can't change clothes, you can't do what. What I would encourage Thomas is, have a certain portion. Start small. As you keep growing, then you need to know, what do I need the debt for? Don't just take debt because we're singing loan is a banker. No. Take the debt for a specific purpose, and by all means don't divert it. But I can tell Thomas for certain that there are people who have survived in this country, moreover in business, without taking debt. They just were comfortable with starting small. They grew it bit by bit. They start to know the seasons, the vagaries of that trade, and then after that, they know when to scale down or to scale up and things like that. But there's nothing is cast in stone. Those who got debt and have improved their lives swear by it. There are those who also have suffered because of it and say, me, I'll never take a loan, it brings a curse.
Yeah.
Things like, because land maybe of the family was sold and things like that. All I can say is, do a self-assessment. Do you need the debt? Can you pay it back? Are you very conversant with the business to the point that you're able to fund yourself, fund your business, fund your family, and everybody is living in harmony, and not a disharmony that can come with also having someone borrowing from you? That's what I would say to them.
I think that's balanced advice. Thank you both. This question comes in from Dear Gracious Laoko. He says, thank you all for the great work. I would like to know how the panelists planned for their children financially from conception. How did they plan for their needs early, for example, school fees? If you did.
If we did.
I don't think that I had the plan that I should have had. I think there's 2020 vision, and this is where honesty comes in. I know people who have successfully been able to store up wads of cash for their kids' education, especially the university, because it gets very interesting at university level, okay? But then I know others who have been investing money, maybe in land or different things over time, so that when you need to, you can let go of, especially if it was for that purpose. You buy a land or plant a forest or stuff like that, to say when that need comes, we will liquidate that or sell this or do that, The methods are many, but I think that my overall answer would not be about planning for kids, but planning for your family, including yourself. that you need to constantly be investing now so that the future is better. If you started a business now and it worked well and was really thriving 20 years from now, you won't need to be worrying about the education of the kids because you have that in multiplicities, okay? If you have, I mean, my late father-in-law, before he died, about 10 years before he died, he planted a forest. And he knew that he was not young enough to benefit from the forest. But he says, I'm planting this forest for you guys, my children and my grandchildren to benefit from it. And so sometimes my in-laws, they just decide and say, what's that problem? Who is that saying what? Go and cut up to here and solve that one. But it's because someone thought about it and invested. So I think the general wisdom would be invest now so that you can have more later. And without us, splitting hairs and say now school this fees is for education, now this is for when you're older, now this is for
because when a health issue comes, school fees will fly out of
the window.
What I would respond to that is my experience. And I said, since I had a purpose to get out of debt and transform my life for a period of 5 years, to get out of that, when you really must climb out of a pit, you better put some strategies. And so I said, if my firstborn is 16, remember the money we get when we've had the baby is a lot of money. But when you have your thermostat is for consuming to zero, you use that money. But what if we had put that money aside 16 years ago? How much would it be? Remember, SSFG says 30 years. That's half. It's a billion. So now, what I am doing as my consequence management. On the unit trusts that I have for my children, that we have for our children, the principle is 10,000 per month that they were born. I'm trying to hit that amount. So if the 16-year-old do that times, it would be 120, but do that math. But you must have a principle, so that then you know what you're aiming at. So if it's 16 years, there are 12 months in every year, times 16 years, then times 10,000 shillings. So that is the minimum amount. So that I have a calculation. If you're just saving randomly,
so
sometimes
is that a bulk or that's what you put every month? So when you calculate the total?
Yes, I put every month. Okay. I have not had the chance to put a bulk amount to cover the deficit.
The entire,
But what I'm asking is 16 times 12
times 10.
Is times 10.
Okay, so help us with the calculator.
Let's find a calculator.
16 times 12 times 10K is how much?
16 times 12 times 10 is 1,920.
So that's 1.39.
1.9.
Okay.
So the minimum on his unit trust
should be 1.9.
Should be 1.9.
Oh, I see. I
1.9 million a month.
No. Like the overall
total.
Because she's trying to get out of it.
Yes, I'm getting out of it.
That makes sense.
So you do that for the second born, who is 14, and then for the 7-year-old, and for the what? So I'm trying to hit that bare minimum.
That's interesting. You should also calculate yours.
Mine. Okay.
That would be.
Yes.
I'm actually thinking it's a good principle to say, how old am I? How many months have I lived? Times 10K.
That's a lot.
How much should be my UAP?
As a minimum.
And then you start sweating.
As a minimum.
Plasma.
As a minimum.
No, but that makes sense.
So because it's a principle, when there's more money, then I can say maybe I'll upgrade it to 20,000 or 30,000 or what, because then you must have a formula.
Yes.
And that formula then, once you've mastered it, you're able to teach it. Because you're passing on principles
to your children.
It looks like you're just saving money, but there's a principle behind and a calculation that I'm using on a monthly, and that is now my aim. Why? Because I have to get out of that pit. I know I received money when they were born. Had I utilized it in a different way, maybe it would be like this and like this. You will never catch up with the 16 years. If that money were going in monthly, compounding over the years, it would be much more.
Yeah, because unit trust, they earn daily.
Yeah.
No, but that's a good one.
Yes. But now, since I can't cry boohoo forever. I have to do something, and that is what I am doing. And so in terms of saving from conception, what I would tell the gracious, I didn't. But I'm doing something about it now. And I'm using the principle of 10,000 per month, per year, per the number of years per child.
Yeah.
And then I like freedom. You know, money should give you choices. So I don't like to say this is for school fees, this is for what. No, if the child needs something and we think it is worth having, then we shall have a buffer that we can pick from. And you have, for you to pick from it, you must have grown the forest.
This is true.
So that you can then, my boss likes to say one thing, that when you don't have money, the whole world is going to know your problems.
Oh dear.
He says, you go to Chris, I have a problem. Chichi,
you first explain.
You first explain. Then Chris says, no, I don't have.
I'll give you 20.
Then you go to Rachel.
Having explained all your problems.
And you've explained to everybody and things like that. I would like to do less explanations.
Yeah.
And especially as I grow older, I would like to explain less and not send a prayer. I was telling Mr. Headmaster that, you know, it's Upmo told us, you know what, instead of sending prayers, and if someone has a need, it's in the Bible. Send help. Yeah. Give them help.
Yeah.
And so to give help then means you have to have put the money aside for you to be able to send help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would tell Dear Gracious.
Dear Gracious. Okay. That's I think what I like about both your submissions is you can do something now.
Yeah.
Even though you made mistakes,
Yes.
there's always an opportunity for you to
The
start
Chinese say the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So
that's it.
Do it now.
Yeah. Here's another question for you. Good morning, panelists. Kindly share your insights on how a firstborn daughter can effectively navigate the different roles and responsibilities she carries, being a daughter, supporting her parents, a sibling with financial obligations towards her brothers and sisters, a wife and a parent. So there's an element of black tax there, I think, and also firstborn roles. How can one maintain balance and fulfill these responsibilities without becoming overwhelmed?
Wow. I have a very radical thought, so let's first hear from
Let's hear from the level-headed one.
No, mine is radical. So.
First of all, you know, God gives that one who will manage. That's the truth. What I would say in that situation is there's a principle. The principle of when money comes in, put aside this, put aside that, and now since your expenses also involve quite a number of people, it means so that you can maintain balance, because that's what she wants to do, to maintain balance. Have that which is yours. That whether mommy says what, you'll say, you know what, if I give it to you, tomorrow I can't go to work. It is very hard. It is very hard, but it is doable. The other thing I would say is, and I'm not going to stand here and say don't give. I mean, that's how we grew up. There were aunties, there were uncles, there were people supporting your father's business or your mother. And so I can't say no, don't. People say, sure, those people, now where we, you know, that type of thing?
Yes.
And we're also in this community, and you have to be aware that our community is structured like that. But it is to know that 10% belongs to God. 10%, if you've decided it is for investing,
Put it aside.
put it aside. Because that is what comes to help you in the future. Mr. Headmaster said, if you don't save money, money won't save you in the future. And it's the truth. And so then you want to say, those people, I helped them. Now they can't help me. Just put aside the money for investment. The one which won't multiply for you. And know that nobody is coming to save you. And then the rest, then you'll know how to split it accordingly. And let them see you get it, like split it and they see it getting finished.
Yeah.
So that they can know that you have no other hidden whatever. But also to principally tell yourself, I have to put this aside for investment. I have to put it aside for the future. I have my own children who have to get through school. I have all this. I'm also going to be an old parent soon. And the dynamics are that now our children might not be the ones paying our medical bills and things like that.
Yeah.
To look at the circumstances in their reality and then know what to do. And by all means, I pray that God will make a way that she'll be able to do all that and still feel a worthy firstborn daughter, but without a backbone breaking because of the weight of the challenges.
Chris, your radical idea.
I think that you have two types of givers, the foolish one and the wise one.
Okay, let's hear the foolish one.
I'll back it up with stories.
Please.
Amos Wekesa was sharing once, and he said that there's a time his business was just beginning to come through, and he got people wanted, relatives came, paid school fees for our kids, and he's like, look, this is what I can give. I can't give more. And they really were upset with him. He said, I'm sorry, that's what I can manage. Because he was growing a business, and he grew it to a point, by the time he shared, at that point, he was looking after 200 kids. He was paying school fees for 200 kids. Whoa. So in other words, it's possible for you to give. You see, the Bible says he gives bread for the eater and seed for the sower.
Yes.
When villagers, even villagers, when you harvest beans, you don't eat all the beans. Okay? You keep some to plant for the next season and some you eat. So when you must manage those percentages and say, this is for investment so that I keep growing and I'm still here tomorrow, next year, 10 years later to help you. Because if I give everything, we're also both going to be broke. Okay? The story of the 10 virgins, the 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. It's not me who called you foolish, it's the Bible. It's Jesus. He basically said, these 10 virgins, they both had money. There's one group that bought oil to sustain them through the night, the other did not. All right? And then the other silly guys come and say, give us some oil. So we share the oil so that we both don't go through the night, so I become as foolish as you. No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, enough said. Our time is fast spent. It's time we hand it over to our headmaster, our headmaster, sir. Unless you're giving us...
I am here penning down all the penalties you are going to receive for not having articulated the sir and the sir at the end.
My apologies.
But we have some time, but I just wanted to bring in a bit of perspective here, yes, and also to give you a chance to answer some of these questions, because we would also love to hear your insights about this particular question of black tax. I was smiling there and I was saying, God, thank you, today I am not the black sheep, because sometimes I say things here and the people think I'm radical, but foolish giver, wise giver. You are not UN. Even the government of Uganda is not able to take care of all of us, yet we give it 40% of our money. Yeah. Who are you to really take care of the entire population? And my apologies, but these persons, as long as you will give, they will still ask. As long as you give, they will still ask. And when you stop, they will not die. They will continue living. So be a wise giver. I thank you for bringing that to my vocabulary. Wise giver.
Wise giver.
Wise giver. So sometimes people, and I was, we had another conference somewhere, and someone was telling me about how they are taking care of 12 of that wife's siblings. So because he was able to do that, he said, let me also mix in, let me also bring at least 2.
Oh, wow.
Like, he was just a recipe for disaster. And guess what? So they were telling this story about 10 years later, they even managed to build a house for some of them. And the stories they were sharing, these persons no longer even step at their place. Wow. They gave their all, their youth, and they are not. So do not feel shy, do not feel guilty. Do what you do. Be a child. You're a child to your parents. Do what you can do, but don't forget yourself. You are the engine. Don't give yourself a wand, you are left with nothing. That is for God. Money is not everything, but everything needs money. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm picking up few lessons of here, and I want to replay them so that you can confirm that we're in class. If you do not if you don't have money, the whole world will know your problems. Actually, social media is disturbing us with people's problems because they do not have money. But Rachel, we want to get your perspective on black tax, on giving, please.
My perspective.
Hey, we want to get that, then I can.
The conversation.
That's why the headmaster is here now, so that we can get your perspective. Then I can share this as we start winding down in the next 10 minutes. Yes, please.
So I think that, and maybe each one of us can. You touched on the subject, but we can expound on it.
I think I'm on a journey to being a wiser giver. I have grown up in an environment, in a family where giving was emphasized. We are beneficiaries of givers, you know, and I mean, growing up in the church, giving is emphasized, you know, and so I think that I'm seeing a difference in the world in which my parents grew up versus the world in which I have grown up, and it's vastly different. I am learning that it is okay to say that I am not able to. If somebody asks me for 100,000, I am able to give you 30, and I'm comfortable with that. I have given, I've still fulfilled scripture. I'm just giving you what I am able to give. Of course, there's going to be times when sacrifice is required. You're kind of going over and above, but I don't think that that can be the norm, because then you don't grow. You're not able to meet your financial goals and do the things that you want to do. So I'm on a journey to being wiser.
I'm also on a journey.
Yeah.
Thank you. And please do not be tempted by misquoting scripture, because sacrifice, you sacrifice what you have. You don't sacrifice your neighbors, or you borrow to sacrifice. So there's an
That's not
aspect
being
of
wise.
an aspect of you need to have, and having is by making. You need to make this money.
Yes.
Make this money. God will bless these hands that make the money. I wanted to speak about debt a little, and then just to emphasize, when you walk into the bank, when you walk into an institution, or you are doing forex trading, you need to understand that behind it you are speaking to professionals. You're speaking to the customer care, you're speaking to a lawyer, you're speaking to a valuer, you're speaking to a credit manager, you're speaking to an appraiser, an analyst, it's
And a debt collector.
a debt collector, security. There's a head of security in that. But you are walking in alone.
Your
For
negotiation
them,
team is one.
they do
Their
not
team.
finish this conversation alone. Their file will move to all 18 hands. For you, you are doing this decision alone. That is where you get it wrong. It is not that debt, and maybe I will. It's not even differing from Chris. Debt is not the problem. Bad debtors are. There is no bad debt. We only have bad debtors. So you have, from inception, you have convinced yourself that I'm taking 200 million, but you are convincing yourself as you. And then you are going to, then the bank will tell you, you cannot take 200 million, you have to take 180. You insist, you go and concoct the books, and you bring them, and you take 250. And no, the problems will come back to you. Debt is not bad, but we have bad debtors. And debt is not for everyone. Please don't feel bad if you cannot take that. Don't. If your friend is taking debt and you can't qualify, bless. And if, just allow me to share this. My best man, for him, believes in accumulating money. He accumulates the money and then spends. There is a group of us who borrow, and then we are getting to the same thing, but different methods. However, objective is key.
Yeah.
Not everything. Objective. I hope you can pick objective. You just go to the bank and say, because I can. Me waiving my appointment letter, I can get a mortgage. So do you need to get the mortgage? What they are calling, and then last loan debt. Debt should be for production, not consumption. No offense to housing, to finance trust or any other bank, but school fees is consumption. Furniture, home furniture is consumption. So that
Kwanjula.
is Kwanjula loan. There is a Kwanjula loan on the market. It's consumption. Already that is bad
for
debt.
sex.
The bad debt. Valentine's is an overdraft. And you see, we package it in a different way. We don't even call it debt. We call it a facility. Overdraft facility. The actual things where it's commercial loan. Commercial loan. That is what we call loan. These others are disguised. That is
Revolving fund.
exactly. So as long as you are getting debt for consumption, it is already bad debt. Forex trading, just to assure you, NSSF does not do, will not do, because by law we cannot invest outside Uganda. So we do not do. We have lots of cash, of your cash, but look at how NSSF invests its money. It puts 80% of your money on a very low risk, of low risk,
Low return.
low return.
There you go.
Now, you have 30 trillion, but you're thinking of low risk, low return. For you have 10 million. Why are you thinking of high risk? Pick something there. The person, this one has a lot of money. Chris's money is coming for it at 55. Rachel is coming at 55. We know. My customer is not coming now, but I still not go to the high risk. For you, you have your money. They are picking, the bank is picking it next month. And then you go to high risk. I don't know. Protecting your children. I'm just re-emphasizing these points, and me, I'm learning. I mean, today is one of those places where I get to. Protecting your children. You have protected them from how you earn money, but you have not protected them from spending it. You actually show them how to spend it. You take them to the fancy restaurants. You have protected them from how to earn it. The one who's bewitching you, the one
Does not sleep.
is on the pension house, not on workers. Pension house, the 35th floor. That person modeling and so much. So with this modeling, imitation. I mean, you are telling parenting, financial parenting. It's not about you telling your children don't do this. It's about actually you doing it. There are times when I am in, right now I have been conditioned. I have actually had to learn from my children, because those lights I could see, the traffic lights, no, there's no traffic officer, let me just go. And they ask me, Daddy, but it was red.
Yes.
Now I expect understanding now it is not just about me, it is about them. So if the red means don't go, so I find myself this morning at 6, I was at the lights and everyone was passing me. But I had children.
And you looked like a fool.
But in there I was
But
saying,
you're a
my
father.
lesson is go, I am a father. You look like a fool, but this is going to pay off in 20 years.
Yes.
Parenting is a journey, ladies and gentlemen. It is not instant lotto that you are going. So what you are sowing now, you are going to harvest it in 20 years.
That's true.
Some of you are the punishment your parents are getting because they didn't parent you. You are disturbing them. And if you are not doing it, your children will come back to bite you. Joan, in class, Joan, please respond.
Yes.
Yes, sir, headmaster, sir.
In this class, before we end, there are some things we pick out 1 or 2 things. And I want you to say that 1 or 2 things you think these persons, this time you look at the camera and you are emphasizing, this is a message to all the parents, the would-be parents, the parents of people with children below 10 years. What is that one thing you don't want them to miss out? Because we shall cut out and then paste it on their phones. Please.
Parents out there, just don't tell children, be what you want them to be, because they are looking at you and learning. They are looking at how your reactions, your temperaments, your money thermometer, they are looking at you. And so don't try, just be. And also walk the journey with them. Walk the journey with the children. Let them see you splitting. You might have to move away from digital money because you're teaching them about currencies and things like that to be able to demonstrate actually, because guidance is about also showing, like literally showing how to split a 10,000. So you might have to now move some of your money into cash form to be able to teach your children about money, how to spend it, how to get it, how to spend it, how to keep it, how to invest it. Let them also come to the bank and see you save. Let them come to the places. I belong to a group called Banyachigezi Bika Olyeho Onyweho. Like you make the money, eat it, drink it. Let the children see you as you converge in those groups and those cash rounds, and let them also start their own small cash rounds at their age, because then they'll have affected by the time they're 20, they're 30, and they're ready to leave your home. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Our time is spent, but I am the headmaster of the school. I mean, I set the timetable. So, as long as your children breathe, you know, I really need to get all these lessons out. I've picked as long as your children breathe, they need to be taught.
Yes.
Chris said that. As long as they breathe, they need to be taught. And there are things which are taught and things that are caught. I hope you can understand that. Rachel, please, what are those things? Again, you look into, this is your, you know the way we put it and then we say, Rachel says this. Please, give us that one thing.
I'm going to pick something that Chris actually shared, because I did say I was here to learn that the things that we are doing now, some of them we are subconsciously teaching our children. For example, sending them to a shop nearby to pick something on credit. You are telling your child it is okay for them to borrow. And the borrowing conversation, we can have it until the cows come home. But what I would like to tell the parents who are watching and myself is that be mindful about your money habits around your children and what you are modeling to them, because they are catching some of those things even though you are not telling them. So be mindful about what you're telling them, but also be mindful about your habits, the habits that you are modeling around your children. The final thing for me would be, if you have made mistakes like many of us have in the past, the best time for you to turn around is now. This is not the time to beat yourself up and say, I've made mistakes, my children are better off learning on their own. No, you're 40, 45, 50, maybe even in your late 30s, the time is now to do that turnaround and get those very good money habits that you can then pass on to your children.
Thank you. I look at these things and which one do I now pick out? Money is the best money. Please participate in the game. Yeah. Now, today, Chris, I'm renaming you Omutuju. So when I'll be sharing and say Omutuju said this, but some of these conversations best had now than, because if you don't have them now, they will have them. They will have you. Those conversations will have you. I mean, I have always emphasized that it is a very, 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 very bad position to be poor, because a poor person is not a person. When we are, it's a room full of poor people, someone comes, looks in and says there are no people. Poverty kills people. There are people who are being buried because they failed to afford a medicine of 200,000. They gave them the bill of 200,000 and said, "They can't pay." It is poverty that is killing you. So for me, when Omutuju, Chris Omutuju, say some of these things, I am just clapping and saying yes. So Chris, modeling, imitation, model and imitation and inflows, he has said that let them go through the pain of consequences. For us, we are having a multiplied pain of our consequences. Let them go in a controlled environment. They still have you. Allow them to go through the pain. Let them cry. I know for the mothers, they will even cry more, but cry after, cry away from them. But let them go through that pain. Omutuju, kindly, as you wind up this, give me.
Well, so thanks a lot, Mr. Headmaster, Mr. Headmaster, sir.
Yes,
okay.
You are in class.
The thing I want to say is, no one ever gets into a game without an intention to win it. So we must all get into the money game to win it. In any game, there are wins and losses. All right? The Bible says a righteous man may fall 7 times, but he gets up. You're going to make mistakes. That's part of the journey. But by all means, get up and win the game. Right? Win the game with getting money. Income streams, fight to have money come in. Win the game in guarding the money, saving. Win the game in growing the money, investing. And win the game in giving the money, because that makes you larger and multiplies you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. And finally, we have homework. Hey. And yes, there's homework here. We have to mark this is class. And I am the owner of the time, please. You didn't pay school fees, so I am. You will allow my sake, but in the next 2 minutes, what is that one thing, one podcast, one book? We have done SFFG here. We have given it to our participants, all of these students. We have given out 10,000 copies. So don't quote that one. That one is a given for us at NSSF. Mukisa, Pastor, okay, for us we call him Mukisa. But he has been in this very room and he has developed this course with us, these very ideas, and we are so much indebted to it. So, but what is that one book, one podcast, or billboard, or newspaper, or quote, or show that you would want these persons to go, read, watch, or listen to that you think will add something to their lives? I will start with Rachel. I will end with John.
It's interesting how I've entered the
panelists, headmaster's class.
I didn't do
Head
homework.
prefect.
I don't have a specific book, podcast resource, but I do know that there are several platforms, especially where women gather, where you'll always hear money conversation. So if you are an ardent follower on social media, wherever you see women gatherings, usually we are discussing things to do with finances. There'll always be a conversation around money. So don't hold back. If you see an event that you can benefit from, that's a good investment. And usually the money it's not a lot. It's a 50K here, 100K here. Consider that your investment for your financial journey and take part in some of those conversations.
Thank you so much. Chris, that book.
One book. T. Harv Eker wrote a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's a really good book because it helps to sort out what's going on in your mind. Your thermostat, your blueprint is what dictates how much money you have or the money you don't have. So if you want to really move the needle, get that book. He compares the wealth files, the mind of the poor against the rich, and it draws such a huge contrast. You may feel bad about it as you read it. It's raw but good. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker.
And if you feel bad, then it's working. John.
This camera?
Yes, please.
The Bible. The Bible. Wealth principles are in there. Parenting is in there. Sowing and reaping is in there. Harvesting and keeping. Even David had farms. He was a king, but he had gardens and things like that. So there's nobody who will not benefit something from the Bible, I submit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joanne. Thank you so much, Finance Trust, for lending us, I don't know what, lending us something like that. But we are in their time on a Wednesday morning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chris. I know you braved through some heavy traffic to get here and then getting parking, but you are here. Yeah. And Rachel, I didn't tell you, but Rachel is our celeb guest here. We are riding on her back. We are hoping that our message gets to all the places where she touches, because when you say Mwine, you open doors to millions of people. And for everyone that has taken, yes, Chris, yes, thank you, but Mutuju, but Rachel,
No one is fighting for Rachel. She's Rachel.
She's Rachel. Rachel is Rachel. And ladies and gentlemen, for us from NSSF, we are doing this so that we have a better life. Do not spend your 2 hours watching this and then you do not act. When you act, things change, because we believe action changes things. You doing this and being with us for these 2 hours and you do nothing, you are not getting out. You're not getting paid. I am getting paid for these 2 hours, so you better get paid by acting, because we know action changes lives for a better life. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next month.